Hello, and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, sponsored by Tight Tongues. If you don't know what to say, go to Tight Tongues. I'll translate for you. Hello, Keith. How are we doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's been a good week.
Good week.
Yeah, somebody asked me how my day was yesterday. I bought a car for cash, and I saw Spider-Man. It was a fucking good day.
And you're overloading your poor mic.
Sorry. It was a good day. Yeah, it was a very good day. Hey, Biffa.
Yes.
So, yes.
I watched Spider-Man on Thursday. I have thoughts.
I thought you might. I thought you might. Well, we'll get into that. I'll let you get into that when we do the review section.
Yes. I've also watched the Burrows.
Yes, I've watched that. Yes. I quite enjoyed that actually. We can talk about that as well.
Okay, we can talk about the Burrows as well. Yes, I watched that yesterday. I had it on while doing other things, if that makes any sense. I've got an iPad in the kitchen running on that. But I think we should get onto our first story.
Okie dokie.
Let's start with we'll have.
My name is Jeff.
If you thought President Cal Bradford was safely dead and buried after that killer first season twist in Hulu's Paradise, well, think again. James Marsden has officially been spotted back on set as the production kicks off for the show's third season down in downtown Los Angeles. Considering his character's untimely demise kicked off the whole post-apocalyptic underground mystery in the first place, seeing him suited in the rather crisp blue shirt and tie has taken between takes has gotten the rumor mill spinning over time. Is Dan Fogelman about to blast us with another round of timeline bending flashbacks, or is there something weirder going on in the bunker? It's flashbacks.
Well, there is no bunker.
They fucked the bunker, didn't they? Yes. Well, he was in the second season. Yeah, I found his character so tragically misunderstood in that first season.
Yes.
When you get right to the end and you see everything and it all comes together and you see that he has just been misunderstood for what he's done, I always felt like really tragic. Plus, at the same time too, there are a lot of timeline shenanigans going on, especially with the supercomputer, wherever it is, in I can't remember it was now Colorado, with the old quantum computer trying to figure out what's going on. And it's probably figured out some timey-wimey bullshit way of getting around what the fuck's gone on, if that makes any sense. But it's earned, so it will feel like the computer's been working on this for ages. Apparently, season 3 is supposed to be the end, so it gets nicely wrapped up.
I think it's going to wrap up with him being alive. I mean, there's that second season episode where he acts like the child, asking all the sort of childish questions, but there is intent there. And I love it because he's talking about, the bunker can't possibly fail. Every fail safe is there. It's like, he's like the Ian Malcolm of freaking Paradise, because he's pointing out the sort of holes in their perfect plan. And I love it because it sort of shows how intelligent he is. And when James Marsden first appeared, I think the first time I saw him was in X-Men as Cyclops, and I hated him. I found him really irritating. And I think for like the first few years he played really irritating parts. I really love him in Paradise, and I'm gutted when he gets killed because he's a nice guy. I mean, he's like, inherently a decent human being. And it was, tragic what happened to him. But the good news is Paradise season 3, hopefully we'll get it relatively quickly. I'm glad that I think it's probably been in production for some time actually, because they pretty much started production after the second season because they were talking about it and already on set filming. So I think it's been in production for a while. But I hope he
Yeah.
ends up alive at the end of it. I do. I do.
Yeah. Along with some of the other people who kind of died along the route.
Mm.
Be interesting. And
Mm.
what was the computer's name? Do you remember?
Alex.
Alex, thank you.
Mm.
So I think Alex is working on some time altering shit to make it work.
Mm.
So we'll figure out how that works, because I think that there's going to be some timey-wimey bullshit here. You know, it's going to be some.
Well, we already know there's timey-wimey bullshit, so yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they're getting headaches and stuff, you know, from flash forwards and whatnot. So yeah, it's I do like Paradise. It is a good TV series.
I love
It did
it.
have me. It did have me. What do you call it? Like hooked.
Suitably engaged.
Yes, and unlike other stories, it's what do you call it? It goes somewhere.
Yes.
You get mystery box bullshit, and the mystery box has got nothing in it. Yeah, and it's like kind of we're not interested. You have to put something in there, otherwise it doesn't feel satisfying.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's very good at doing the mystery box, but it answers it. It tells you what's inside, and that's unusual with these. It's not lost. It's not lost. We know what's through the hatch.
It does what. Yeah, it's a bunker. It's a massive bunker underground. It does a thing where it's like kind of we will tell you the answer, but the answer is going to give you 2 more questions. Why is this happening? And who did that? And blah blah blah. And then you feed into that, and it keeps kind of.
But it answers them. It doesn't. It doesn't keep you perplexed for long. I mean, it gives us nerds suitable amount of stuff that we can speculate about, which we love to do. But it answers most of that in one form or another, and that's what I like about the show. Yeah, it's a great show. It's still one of my favorite shows of recent times.
Yes. All right, let's move on to our next story.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Talking about classic Marvel plot twists that you definitely didn't see coming in the trades, Disney Plus has officially pulled the plug on the second series of Wonder Man, just months after they proudly handed it a renewal. The TV series, which pulled rave 5-star reviews, scored a major Emmy nomination for oh my fucking Yahara Abdul Mateen II, and brought Sir Ben Kingsley's iconic Trevor Slattery back, is suddenly dead in the water. To make matters even weirder, the reports indicate a writer's room was never opened before the axe came down. So I liked Wonder Man, but Wonder Man wasn't very Marvel. Wonder Man was the story of 2 struggling actors trying to get jobs in Hollywood more than it was anything about superheroes or anything like that. The superheroes have just happened to be there.
I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought Ben Kingsley was phenomenally good in this. It breathed life into a character that we'd seen a couple of times and found funny, especially when he mentioned Croydon in Iron Man 3, because I've got a mate that comes from Croydon, and I always point him to that comment. I really enjoyed Wonder Man. I'm gutted about this, because actually it's probably one of the only decent Marvel Disney Plus series out there. Probably because it wasn't very Marvel. But I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was great. I found it entertaining. I really liked the relationship between the 2 of them. I thought it was fantastic.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am struggling on how the hell they would do a second season of this.
Well, I mean, he escaped. I mean, as a standalone series, you know, it stands well. He escapes at the end, but you could do a second series about pursuit and thing. But yeah, it would be more about.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. I just like watching the 2 struggling actors trying to find jobs.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
It's not the superhero part of it. Watching those two, it's like kind of got the old seasoned actor and the younger one working together to try and get a job, and then they get conflict the fact that they're going for the same bloody job, and then it's like, well, no, you get this part and you can work with this, that, and the other. And that was the weird thing is the superhero part of that story was the bit that I wasn't interested in.
It was the least interesting part of the series. Yeah, I agree with that.
For someone who's supposed to be a superhero story, which is the mad part. Because they told us a compelling story that you could have done without. Because if you tell us that Ben Kingsley's in a one-off comedy about struggling actors, that would have worked for me too. Yeah, and if you'd have done that, you probably would have been able to get some more other more senior actors in there and some newer, fresher faces that are kind of up and comers in there too, because they all know what it's like. They've all been there. Yeah, and they probably all want to kind of portray it. You've got that one person in the group who all of a sudden just makes it, and it's like, how the fuck did you just make it? Yeah, but it comes back down to the fact that the what do you call it, the acting part of it was more entertaining than the superhero part of it, and I don't think they could have done a satisfactory second season. I could do a one shot maybe.
When you put it like, yeah, Marvel hasn't done one shots for years, which is a shame actually, because that was when Marvel was cool. We enjoyed watching one shots, and one shots were interesting. Now that you say it, you might be right. The way it ended, it couldn't actually go back to what it was before. And it would have been more superhero-esque, and I then don't think it would have worked as well. You're probably right.
But saying that, the statement that the guy whose name I can't pronounce put there was like, thank you for people watching. I love watching your reactions online. It was a pleasure to do this. Didn't attack the fans. Just turned around and said, you know what, I had a really good time here. And I enjoyed it. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it too. And it's like, wow, that's how people were supposed to, show a bit of gratitude towards people. It's really good.
But it was genuinely likable. It was well written. It was well done. And it was very unlike Disney. And it was about telling a good story and nothing else. There was no political messaging in there. There was nothing. It was all... It was just genuinely quite enjoyable.
Mm.
So
it's weird because sometimes I watched that and I was just forgetting the whole actor part of it. Sorry, the superhero part of it, and just watching the actors, and that's the bit. As I said, that's what I enjoyed about it.
No, I'll give you that.
I'll
give you that.
All right, let's go on to. Oh, hang on a second. I just realised something. Yeah, so Wonder Man cancelled. Matey who got whatever his name, who got shafted for a new role. Acted like a proper champ, and that's always appreciated. But then there's the Dutch.
All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
What?
Casting for Marvel's Cinematic Universe's Mutant Era is officially kicked off. And it started with a massive W. Genre royalty Samara Weaving has reported that she's been tapped by Marvel Studios to play the White Queen herself, Emma Frost, in the upcoming X-Men reboot after extensive casting search that spanned earlier this summer. The Ready or Not star has landed the pivotal telepathic role under the direction of Thunderbolt's helmer Jake Schreier. Fans have been clamoring to see how Marvel would handle the iconic X-Men after Frox's era, and drafting actors with Weaving's razor-sharp comic timing and action chops is one hell of a statement of intent. It's weird because that's that fucking Sophie Turner there. Why have we got pictures?
Yeah, it's just Digital Spy. That's who they've got playing.
She fucking looks like it.
I knew you were going to say that.
She looked.
Yeah,
No,
well,
Emma Frost is supposed to make you go. That's her first thing. That's like her first fucking power is to make you just start drooling uncontrollably. Yeah, because you look at her, and then before she's doing that, she just pushes her past that drooling part of your brain, and then just starts slipping in the back and nicking all your secrets. So she looks. She looks like Emma Frost, and she works. Emma Frost isn't renowned for being funny.
No.
Yeah, she's a bit of a diva. I think it's probably the best way of describing her.
I mean, Marvel obviously going in a slightly different direction. Well, they're going for young X-Men, which potentially can work, but Marvel.
Yeah.
Hang
on. Hold on. Just realised something. We should have called this section. How the fuck are Disney gonna fuck this up? That's what we're thinking, isn't it? Just get the crux of it. Between me and you, we're looking at it going, that's a good bit of casting there. Oh fuck, they're gonna cock other shit up badly.
We'll get into this when we talk about Spider-Man later, because there was a realization, certainly in my cinema yesterday, that disproves the whole superhero fatigue thing, and kind of proves my shit movie fatigue thing. And you're right, that's what is in the back of my head of how are they going to screw this up, because depending on your thoughts, I think they're potentially off to a running start if they do it right. But she definitely works.
As Emma Frost, she looks like Emma.
Yes.
They picked a good picture there because of the shiny thing.
Yes.
So yeah, Emma Frost always used her sexuality.
Emma Frost is a blonde bombshell, and that's what it should be. You know, she should be how do I say a lady with ample assets that is blonde and looks and basically makes men all bristle and drool, because that was the whole idea of her. You know, certainly from the early comics. But yeah, you're right. How can Disney screw this up? But we will see. But yeah, that works for me.
I'm waiting for the fact that Tyler Perry will be announced as Professor X. You laugh, but you won't be laughing.
The fact that they've got Patrick Stewart in the Avengers thing, I think they will follow up with a decent Professor X.
James fucking McAvoy, just have fucking McAvoy and what's his mush. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what
they're
they
right age now. I'll be honest.
I mean, they're going to bring Deadpool back in. I think Deadpool not in Avengers Doomsday is potentially a red herring. I think he's in it.
He's in it. He's in the beginning of it with him and Wolverine.
Yeah,
Wolverine and Spider-Man's the rumor.
Although it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that's going to die. Spoiler. But I kind of loved his whole sneaking into Comic-Con last week thing and the whole video of it, and then people realizing at the end. I love how he just gets up, you know, first time caller, long time listener. It was quite funny. But no, we'll come back to the subject of Marvel afterwards, because I think our conversation about Spider-Man will obviously touch upon this. Although I know what the next news story is, but this does not shock me compared to how busy my cinema was yesterday. But go on.
Okay, let's move on to our next story then.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
God bless you.
Sorry, Avengers Endgame, but your 7-year reign at the top of the food chain is officially over. Spider-Man Brand New Day has swung into theaters, completely obliterating records, hauling an astonishing 168 million on its opening day alone. That's massive. Friday's tally, which includes a staggering 72 million from earlier previews, waltzes right past Endgame's previous high of 157.4 million. Tom Holland's fourth solo outing as a web slinger isn't just hitting numbers, it's rewriting the history book with stellar reviews and a cinema score of a massive 98% audience score. Sorry, 98% audience score to back it up.
I mean, I very rarely see the foyer of our cinema more than a quarter full, right? You can't usually book movies until like the day that they come out in advance here. They were especially put on Spider-Man in advance bookings. I was lucky to get a decent seat on the Saturday. The cinema was reasonably full. When we came out, because I mean it's a 2.5-hour movie, we came out at like just before 9 in the evening, which is quite late here. The foyer, was packed. We had to go through people. And here's the thing, right? We won't talk about this movie, in job, but what we will say is that the first 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies were consistently reasonably good, and the last one, I've made no bones about it. It's my favorite. I love it because it fixes all those little problems with the other ones. And I love the fact that they actually allowed what's his face to be the Goblin with that face because it works.
Yes,
and so we've had 3 consistently good Spider-Man films. Spider-Man is probably one of the most popular superheroes. He's certainly one of the most popular here. And it's no surprise that then people have turned out because they've enjoyed all 3 of the previous movies, so they've turned out for this. So all this bullshit about superhero movie fatigue is just bullshit. Because people you saw the same with Deadpool, and you've seen the same with this, right? It's not superhero fatigue. It's shit movie fatigue, right? The trailers for Superman and the DC universe never really did it, right? Superman, some people love, some people don't, but I'm not surprised that nobody turned out for Supergirl, especially when they did what they did with Peacemaker season 2, which was terrible. But it doesn't surprise me that this is broken records. I mean, the cinema was heaving, and there was like a palpable excitement in it. You could feel it. People love Spider-Man, and people have loved the last few Spider-Man movies, so they've turned out for this one. So good. Good in the fact that it proves that. I mean, I know that Hollywood will spin it, but this proves it. This proves it. It's not superhero movie fatigue. It's shit movie fatigue.
Yeah.
Make a good movie, they will come.
Yeah. I've got a lot to say. It's hard because I don't want to talk about it until we get to the Spider-Man section.
I know.
But I think this is doing $1 billion easy.
I think it's going to do well. I mean, I think the rewatch is going to be high on this. I mean, I want to really talk about it because there was one moment in the film that I'll say this now, right? We won't talk about it, but there's one moment in the film, and my wife was pissing herself laughing because I went, "God, that's cool," and then Spider-Man 2 seconds later goes, "God, that's cool." The scene I'm talking about with the hand. I went, "That's cool." And then Spider-Man says it. I started laughing and she was laughing as well because I thought that was a cool scene. Anyway, we'll come back to talk about. I really want.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to it because we're going to talk a lot about that. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put this down for the biggest movie of this year. I think it's going to be.
Oh yeah. Oh gotcha.
I don't even think. I think Doomsday is going to really struggle.
I don't think
really
Doomsday's going to get what this is going to get.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's going to go just below $1 billion. It's just not small potatoes, but given the money that they've spent on it, it's But let's move on to our next story.
Hans Briggs! Oh no!
7 years of Comic-Con hype, director dropouts, screen rewrites have finally come to an unceremonious end. Mahershala Ali is officially pulling the stake out of Marvel's Blade reboot and walking away for good. In a brutally candid new interview with GQ, the two-time Oscar winner didn't hold back when addressing the movie's total collapse, laying it out plain and simple. Marvel have billions of dollars. They had him under contract, and they actually wanted to make the movie. They have make it the movie. They would have had, with a polite no offense to them, but Ali has officially closed the chapter on the Daywalking thing. We heard stories, yeah. We heard stories, and it rang so fucking true. And I bet you he turned around and said, "No, I'm not doing that." Where it was going to be Blade was going to be yanked around by 3 fucking women. Yeah,
It was towing a trend in. It was belittling him to butt up others, and people are tired of it. I mean, this is interesting that he's come out and said it. I like this actor actually. I've been, seen him for a while in certain things. I think he's quite a good actor. I really liked that film where he was playing the pianist, and he was driven around by what's his face?
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. That's a really good film actually. And I think he would have been a really cool Blade. I mean, the fact that they brought Wesley Snipes back in Deadpool, I still love, because Wesley Snipes was born to play that role, and he works so well in that role. But I think he could have done an interesting thing. But when you make a Blade movie, you need to make it about Blade. Blade is your hero, right? You want to do. There is absolutely nothing wrong with making a female superhero thing. I still quite enjoy it. Nowhere near as much as Wonder Man, but Miss Marvel the TV series was okay. It was harmless, right? It didn't.
Yeah.
You can make likable female TV driven or film series. You can do that, right? But there are a lot of fans out there of Blade, and if you're going to take him down to pick up things, people have seen this and they're tired of it. Stop attacking their face. There's nothing wrong with liking Blade. There's nothing toxic about liking Blade. Blade is an interesting character. Blade is a good vampire. He doesn't want to kill people and drink their blood. He's a good guy, right? Okay, he's a slightly, blurred lines, but for the most part, he's a good guy. What they were planning to do never would have worked. No one would have liked that. Existing Blade fans wouldn't have liked it. This modern audience that they keep on banging on about that lives in La La Fantasyland would not have turned out to see this. So I can't blame the guy.
It's that what's you call it? Halo had a re-release. Yeah, you heard about that?
Yes.
Heard about how people reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
As in, it's crap, and it's like, how can you fuck up literally a copy and pasted job? Yeah, how could you fuck that up?
In the video game world, quite easy at the moment.
Yeah, and it's just like kind of the original Halo was like $50 million to make, which is quite a lot of money at the time, but it came out single player multiplayer co-op, split screen co-op, all that. Like, I'm not the biggest Halo fan, but the Halo fans have got a great fucking point. That whoever's made it now, they put in like 4 prequel bits for Halo. So there's this 4 prequel episodes for Halo. They introduced the character for it, and then they've got the Marines, and they split them 50-50, so they're 50% men, 50% women. I know Marines don't work like that, especially Royal fucking Marines. I don't even know ever any woman who's ever qualified for being a Royal Marine Commando. And it's like kind of these people they put in place cost a lot of money to make these things because they hate what they're doing. They hate this. I'm using Halo as an example because it's just something I've come across recently, and some of the arguments are quite good because Halo was very pro-military. Yeah, it was Halo. If you look back at the original Halo, people would describe it as fucking right wing. Yeah, it's pro-military. It's kind of anti-jihadist. Yeah.
I think you can be pro-military, and
They can't.
What? Not everybody on the left. I'm on the left, and I respect the military. I believe in the military.
Mate, yep. I'd like you to check out the Overton window. I think it's moved. And you don't want to be on the left. It's fucking embarrassing. Be in the centre. Well, you're in the centre.
You know what I mean. I certainly don't recognise most of my side now, but I would say that I am. I mean, you're right. It's happening. I mean, Spider-Man 2. They took out the police. They took out the police.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notice how the police were backing that film, Spider-Man film yesterday, in a prominent way. The problem with the games, the video games market, is that they're 3 or 4 years behind the trend because it takes this long to make games. I'm really worried about GTA 6. I'm just really worried about it. But I mean, the games they've screwed themselves at the moment.
But the reason I say that is because Halo and Blade are kind of in that era, shall we say?
Yes.
Yeah, and that era was a bit more liberal, proper liberal, not this fake ass liberal shit that they're making up, where people had liberties that they could express. And it's like you could be pro-military, and that wasn't a problem. Yeah, you could be like there's shit tons of fucking Bible references in Halo. Yeah, more than I thought. When someone went through it, I was like, I knew about 5. Yeah, and there's about 40 of them in there, and because of that, the new people, like with the Blade people, can't fathom why it is like it is, and it's so.
Oh, okay.
These people need to be made unemployed. Let's just put it that way. They need to be made unemployed. They can't be trusted as custodians of anything because they can't understand these things. Yeah, so Blade should be a fucking easy setup. It should be one of the easiest setups. It should be, who are we having as the bad guys? We're going to start off with Deacon Frost. Oh, we start off with Deacon Frost and building up to Dracula. That's it. That's it. I don't get why it was so fucking difficult for them to just turn around and go, here you go, here's a sword, go stab some vampires. That's it. Me and you and ChatGPT would come up with a script, and it'd be better than any shit that they could come up with. And they'd be using ChatGPT too, the lazy fucks. We're only doing it because my typing is shite. Maybe I could dictate to it. Actually, now I think about it, we could dictate. Me and you could dictate. I bet you if me and you spent a weekend together, we could come up with a Blade script. Better one than whatever they've come up with. Yeah?
Yeah,
we'd have to pull out all the Blade lore. And that would be... So, see, the thing is, I don't know if it would... See, part of me is like, kind of... Do we start right at the beginning, yeah? Go back in time and have him as, like, Whistler's... what do you call it? Understudy or protege or whatever you want to call it, yeah?
You could do...
And then, like, hunting vampires that age, and then you can go up...
You see, I would do it. You see, I still think Batman Begins is a fucking great origin. And that's how I would do an origin, with flashbacks like they do in that. I like what you know, I like Batman Begins, as you know, I've made no bones about it. That's how I would do Blade. That's how I would do it. Flashbacks in time. And have a that's how I'd do it. That kind of flashing back.
Sort of. Yeah, so he's like Whistler. He's like working with Whistler, and he's like telling him all the secrets and stuff. And they kind of grab, and then you could slip in something that which happened to defeat the bad guy at a later point because he was paying attention 20 years ago or something along those lines. But it's just, how do you fuck that up? What
Marvel during
and I know, And this is the thing. It's like kind of Marvel not controlling Spider-Man is a good thing. Sony not being 100% in charge of Spider-Man is also a good thing, because the arguments between the two of them come out with decent films. Yeah.
Yes.
If there's no when Marvel left their own devices produce shit, Sony left their own devices produce shit.
They are now.
Maybe Marvel should go to Sony and say, Sony, you make us this film, and we'll do the thing, back and forth shit.
They are now. I mean, Marvel used to be really good. I mean, up until Endgame, they were for the most part good. They had more hits and misses. They had the odd miss, but by today's standards, they were all hits. And then they shit the bed. I mean, I have always say it again. Endgame is problematic to say the least. And it's just not been great since then. In fact, the only movies really that I've genuinely rewatched more than once and kind of enjoyed are the Spider-Man movies and Deadpool.
Yeah, and so is everyone. And Deadpool again is Ryan Reynolds pulling against the Marvel thing. There's a conflict there, and it made a good movie. Not a great movie. Not as great as the first one. But yeah,
none of them have been. None of the other Marvel movies have been like memorable or watchable. I mean, they're worse than AI slop. That, you know, even the Thunderbolts, that showed promise in the trailer, was awful. Really, I mean, there were funny things in it, but it wasn't good. Endgame got rid of all of that A-list characters, with the exception of a few, and they haven't done anything with them since. They haven't done another Avengers. They haven't got their asses into gear and gone, what are we going to do after And Kang was a mistake. You know, the multiverse is so confusing. You could have done some multiverse stuff, but you shouldn't have centered everything around the multiverse. You know, the multiverse in small states worked really well in Spider-Man 3. But I always thought you should have built to Doom. They should have gone with Doom right from the offset. They should have hinted at Doom at the end of Endgame and gone for it right from the offset. But because then the fans would have been on board, and they shouldn't have bothered bringing in all these, like, you know, changing their priorities from telling good stories, which was always their number one fucking priority up and pretty much until Infinity War and Endgame, although it's just not on show in Infinity War. And then they switched to the political messaging. That had to come before everything else. They built stories around the political messaging and not the other way around. And you could see it. And they just became shit. And basically they fired any writers that were clearly worth their salt and obviously clearly didn't agree with them. You know, writers' rooms these days, they're all of the same political mind. There's nobody in there that doesn't think. And what you do, you get robotic films. AI can now produce better scripts. We know that. We got AI to write freaking 2.5, 3 years ago when Secret Wars was on. It wrote a better bloody treatment than what we were watching.
I
mean, they destroyed Nick Fury. How do you emasculate Samuel L. Jackson? How?
Yeah, Doomsday's going to be fucking shit. It's going to be a collection of, I like that, but the connective tissue, the bit that makes it work is not there. It'll have a dramatic drop after the first week.
It's clear that the Russo brothers were massively helped. So yeah, you're right, because Endgame and everything they've done outside of Marvel World since has been shockingly bad. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Sorry. I'm sorry if you like Endgame, but it's problematic. For many reasons.
Problematic.
Well, it is problematic.
No, it's not.
Endgame was problematic.
No, it's not problematic. It has a fucking plot hole the size of the Hindhead
That,
tunnel that you can drive
and
a
the
lorry
5-year time
through.
jump, turning Tony Stark into a selfish twat, turning Captain America into a selfish, and I just wonder, did he not get off with like his family? Because like, you know, when in like for the Captain America films, his next door neighbor is like Peggy Carter's niece or granddaughter or something in it. Isn't that like tantamount to incest?
Well, he didn't know at the time. He's got the what do you call it? He's got the Luke Skywalker defense.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Didn't know.
We haven't got that much in the way of comments. So are we gonna do the heartbeat music? Oh, why not? Because
we have to
honor
let's have a look at the comments.
Tony Hart.
Let's have a look
Hey
at
everyone, that's it.
We've just literally got lots of highs. My wife is out, so she's not here. So we've got Biffa. Let's say hello to Biffa the Hobbit. Hi, Biffa. Say hi, Keith.
Hi, mate.
And we've got Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
And then we've got Paul. Hi,
Hey, Paul.
Then we've got Angel. Don't
Hey,
say
dude.
a word. Don't say a word!
Why?
Just because I want to be a dick to him.
It's not a dick. Why do you want to be a dick to Angel? He's done
No, it's
nothing
funny.
wrong. He's harmless.
Biffa brought up the point which you were saying about the what do you call it? Blade stuff, where it's like they were going to do a crap one on Blade with make his daughter the hero. They got to stop it. Yeah, it's one of two things. The reason that Marvel Studios started up is that they were finding that when someone did the film, it didn't represent what the comic was about. Yeah, it didn't put the people in the right fucking costumes. It didn't tell the right stories, and it didn't do that. And Marvel has forgotten their complete foundation, and that's why they're fucked. That's it. But yes, and then we've got a what from Angel? Just Paul and I are laughing. And then we've got now. It's time to spam the chat. Lol.
I know
Right,
that Chuck and Laurie are away as well.
Where are they? They're not an island, are they?
He's taken out his parents for their 66th wedding anniversary. That's pretty good. Well done.
he goes
Attack of the Killer Tomato. What are we watching? Go on then.
If you wanted a trailer, there's not many trailers out at the moment, and this is the one that stuck out the most.
This poor woman was dehydrated to death.
Looks to me like tomatoes.
Only one way to find out for sure, Sheriff. No, gross. That's blood. That's tomato juice.
Like artificial intelligence, only freakier.
In the Hindenburg crash, we're all...
Tomatoes. All tomatoes.
Tomato.
We have stocked out
Tomato.
every red balloon in U.S. airspace.
Artificial intelligence has met its match.
Sorry I'm late, I forgot my phone.
What? Well, I thought it was. I think it's going to be a massive hit.
There is the Ted Lasso trailer, but it's got music in it from the thingy, and it's all the way through. So I don't think we can watch it really. That did make me laugh, by the way. I don't know what the hell it is, but yeah, it looked funny.
They've remade pretty much everything. Yeah. They have remade everything. So Killer Tomatoes was naturally on it. They've done They've done what's his most Toxic Avenger? Yeah. So why not do the Killer Tomatoes?
True.
I'm waiting for them to remake the Blob.
Right. Shall we talk about Silo quickly? Have you watched it, or have you not watched it?
Yes, I watched it. It was probably the best episode so far.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, stuff happened. I like it when dramas and stuff happens in dramas and things happens to people.
Well, it was a flashback.
And they change their minds and this, that, and the other.
It gave us up until now. I mean, now I have no idea where it's going. We're off the reservation. We're completely away from the source material. I have no idea what's going to happen next. Yeah. It's totally gone off it. So who knows? But it was watchable this week. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, because
go on.
Yeah, because kind of they figured out that the silo could be poisoned. Juliet's trying to remember where they poisoned them from. There's a lot of lights that have gone missing. I wonder if those lights are down underneath the thingy so they can see where they're tunneling out to. Maybe someone's already figured out that they should be tunneling out to, say, another silo, or maybe out of the silo. And that's where all those lights have disappeared to. So you've got this kind of bits there. Tim Robbins' character's not dead, despite being covered in plastic wrap and thrown in a fire. Even though they did show you what they did for not throwing him in plastic wrap and not putting him in a fire. Even though someone with that amount of burns on their body would really fucking struggle being carried down those flight of stairs. Even though he said, "Oh, you gave me some really cool shit." Yeah. Just some damage off the back.
I think we might see if they go down the nanite. Well, nanites. We already know that, so it could be that they have some medical nanites that fixed him. So there possibly is a plausibility there. The books do go down the nanite route, so that is what Iran is threatening everybody with. Kind of ironic they keep talking about Iran at the moment, isn't it, in this series?
Yeah. If they'd have only known.
Kind of ironic. No, it was good this week. I'm interested to know what you made of the Burrows.
I like the Burrows. It felt like the opposite of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It was like instead of young kids, it's old retirees. Instead of the young kids not being believed because they're young kids, it's the retirees not being believed because they could be senile. I did like it. It was Alfred Molina and it was quite good. It's sad that second season's been cancelled.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because I'd like to. I part of me thinks there's a simulation of sorts. Just because of the way things are working in there. And he didn't answer the thing about the peach that his neighbor got. That's the one that's always just fucking high on whatever it can smoke. Yeah, it was good. I liked the way it was a bit slow in places, and it did the Game of Thrones thing where the interesting thing happens in the last 15 minutes, which was annoying. But I was cooking and cleaning at the time, so I wasn't too bothered, and I just it's the last 15 minutes, poke my head up, and go, oh, now the shit's happening. I knew that the founder was older than his young self showed because of the way he dressed. Because they purposely made him dress like he was old and his wife. I like that because it was like that was my suspicion, and because of that suspicion was confirmed. I always like it when my bias is confirmed in a TV show. The Gina Davis and the security guard thing, if you reverse those roles, that would be deemed creepy and inappropriate. Therefore, it shouldn't be there.
Yes, potentially.
It is. No, it's not. It is. It's full stop. If it's not acceptable one way, it shouldn't be acceptable the other way. That's it. Yeah. You want equality, that's how equality works. You just sit there and you go, oh, it doesn't work. You can't still have your special rules. That I felt that was off. Yeah. That was one thing that made me go. Oh. The weird thing with I'm calling him President fucking Whitmore, Bill Pullman. President fucking Whitmore, even though he's not President Whitmore in this. Dude, I didn't realize how old they all were because they're all 70 plus. The youngest one I think was Gina Davis at 70. I think she's 9. But it's
Independence Day is over 30 years old, Gareth.
Oh, fuck off. I remember I remember buying that on VHS, and my maths teacher said, "You've got that on VHS." I went, "I'll go and get the video machine." He goes, "We'll put that on while we're doing our maths work," because he wanted to watch it. I was like, "All right, fair enough." So we did that. That was quite cool. Fucking quadratic equations. I remember. Oh, pie shite. Still don't know how to do factorials. Dumb fuck. I should know how to do it by now. But going back to it, it was good. It's this retiree home thing. It's got a kind of bit of a sinister vibe, a bit of what's the thing with the Stepford Wives feel, but more the town than the people. If that makes any sense.
I like how they themed it. I mean, it does have the Duffel brothers are producers of it. I mean, you mentioned the same thing. I liked Alfred Molina. Gina Davis thing, yeah, it's a good point. Although she's older woman, she looks like that. But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I kind of enjoyed it. No, I did. I enjoyed it. I am gutted there isn't a second season because it did leave that sort of a bit of a cliffhanger at the end. I found the daughter annoying at times, but in the end she worked out. But no, it was watchable. It was good. It was something to watch, and it wasn't bad. Right. Anyway, right. Unless you want to say anything more, come on, let's get into it. I've been wanting to talk about this freaking thing. I'm going to put it out there and say that I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it left me wanting more.
Okay.
I know you're going to find lots of holes in it, but I enjoyed it. I found. I mean, the moment when he see, because again, when he turns up to see what's her face in the Turkish baths, and it's just like, oh, come on, you've got to take your kit off, kind of thing. It was like, please leave the mask on, please leave your mask on, please do it, yeah. And he just comes out with a mask on, fucking brilliant. Me and fits of laughter. It's like, that's Spider-Man, that is Spider-Man right there. Go on then, get your thoughts now.
I didn't like it.
Why?
Oh, I'm lying. I fucking loved it. It was Spider-Man. That was the first. That was my first fucking thing. There is right. So I've listened to. I had to avoid spoilers and everything, and I listened to everyone talk about it. Yeah, and their issue is with the Jean Grey bit. Yeah, Spider-Man kind of let Jean Grey. You only saw her. It sounds odd. You only saw her kill one person. Yeah, and that was the bit one guy walked into traffic. I'm not even sure he was fucking dead. And didn't say that she'd killed anyone. So that's my first thing there. Yeah. The way Spider-Man dealt with her was more because it was like, oh no, he's going soft on her. Blah blah blah. She's done all these bad things. She's injured all these people. Yeah. And okay, she has injured all these people, but the way Spider-Man dealt with her was to make sure that she had no need to do what she was doing again. So it'd prevent all future crimes. But it's funny because the Punisher was right. Because if he put a bullet in her, he'd prevent her from doing all her future crimes. So you have this weird thing between the two of them where they have the two kind of, they have the same goal, but the methods are different there. Zendaya, she kind of bugs me. The bit where they're on the boat together was really nice, but someone should tell her stop having a face like a slapped fucking ass. Yeah, look fucking happy for fucking once. You're a millionaire. You'll never have to fucking work again. Guys, the eyes of the world are on you. You can go to fucking buy whatever you want, this, that, and the other. You don't need to worry about why they do it, because when she was on the boat and she looked happy and this, that, and the other, and she was doing any other expression apart from RBF, yeah, she was quite easy to watch, yeah, which was fine.
I don't think it bugs me as much as it does you, but I do know what you're saying.
It's like kind of you're supposed to want the hero to get with her. That's what it is. You're supposed to do that,
but I do. I mean, it left us. I mean, okay. So I mean, as we're talking about that, when because you are left up to interpretation on the friends, Mark. First thing, do you think she remembers him?
No.
Like that scene where she's sitting on top of the school roof, fingering the necklace. Is that a sign that Jean Grey unlocked those memories, or those memories are coming back to her?
Nope.
No.
Nothing
you think
at all.
You think they're going to
Nothing
keep
at all.
her mind wiped?
I think she's forming newer memories of him, and she can see someone, and she knows that there's something there, and she's seen to the extent of what he is, and she's actually just genuinely falling for him.
Well, she trusts
The
him
same
immediately.
way, the same way that Ned is. He's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah. So now
Between
the
him
other
and
do
Spider-Man,
you think
two
that
heroes that turn up and say, "Trust me," it's going to be those two, isn't it?
Do you think that Ned remembers him, or it's because she dropped that it was Peter?
Nope.
Because he does the shake. I think so. So there's two ways you can interpret that he remembers him as Peter, or because she says Spider-Man's name is Peter. Do you think it's one or the other? Because Ned remembers the handshake.
I don't think. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't make a blind bit of fucking difference. Really doesn't. It needs to be back to square one. Yeah, because it doesn't as a piece of like storytelling. It doesn't work if they remember. If they don't remember, it works. If Spider-Man's got nothing and he has to then go out of his way to get something, yeah, so he's not filling out on his own, so he does have to reach out to people, yeah, that's kind of like growth there. But if he remembers, then it doesn't work. It works if he goes out and tries, and there's the risk of him not remembering, not reacting positively towards him. But to be honest with you, Ned and MJ, probably the smallest parts of that story.
True.
Yelena did not need to be in it.
No, but it did make me laugh. Come on, even you must have laughed when he got into the thing. That did make me laugh. It was typically nerdy Spider-Man.
No, because I saw that and I went, "Oh no, don't do this shit. Don't do this shit. Don't. I already know where this is going. I've seen it. Blah blah blah. Stop it. Knock it off." And they did it. Yeah, and it was that I didn't like. That was one part I genuinely didn't like, because it was just like, ugh. Yeah, and it was like, for fuck's sake, don't. The other part of me was, for fuck's sake, don't take your
mask
off. Your mask
yeah,
off,
but he doesn't,
helmet.
and that's again, and I like that. I liked the sort of the cutaway scenes. Tombstone in there. You had Boomerang very quickly, and you had a bit more of Scorpion in there. I slightly think they wasted Scorpion a bit, because that actor is such a good actor, and I think he could have been more interesting as Scorpion. They threw away who built the Scorpion suit.
No, James.
I'm glad you liked it, because I liked it. And it left me wanting more. I liked it because he is the most Spider-Man of the most Spider-Man he has been.
Yeah,
and I like the fact that it was. I mean, I still love Spider-Man 3, but I like the fact that this was more contained. I like the fact that this was more small scale, and his relationship with Frank is fucking great. And the ending is with him and Frank is Frank is brought to almost tears, and it's like, are you crying, Frank? No, and I love that. I love that whole interaction with him and Frank. At the end, and I actually think Sadie Sink did an interesting job as Jean Grey. Some people have criticised that. Fucking, have you forgotten Sophie Turner? Who, talk about not being.
Yeah. I think acting wise, she did a great job. I believed her. And that's the thing. If you make me believe that that's the character, they did change Jean Grey's powers, because she doesn't need to jump from person to person. She never needed to jump from person to person. That's why I thought it was the fucking Shadow King at first.
Well, at the end, she doesn't. And here's the thing: the purple, and the way she suddenly became very, very powerful all of a sudden. Do you think that's hinting at Phoenix or not?
No, I think that's hinting, because X-Men, it's her genes waking up properly. Her X genes activating properly. Yeah.
Because at the end, she doesn't need to jump.
I was expecting her to wind up at Xavier's mansion at the end.
I think that would have involved them having to bring that in, and I don't think they want to do that pre-Doomsday. I agree with you. I still don't think he's going to be in Secret Wars. He's not going to be in Doomsday, because the other Spider-Man's in Doomsday. But we'll get to Secret Wars literally a year later. The problem is that now means that we're 3 years away from we could be 2 years away, but they are going to be doing another trilogy. Did we get the name of the copper?
It wasn't Morales.
That was what I was wondering.
It wasn't Morales. I checked.
Okay.
Can't remember who it was, but it wasn't Morales. That was that.
I was half expecting it to be.
People were complaining about kind of her character being in it, but you're right. You needed to see what it would look like from the police's perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
And she offered that, and it's strange enough because they lifted that from Yuri from first Spider-Man game, where he's on the phone to her. I'm surprising he didn't do like the silly voiceovers and stuff.
There were lots of little Spider-Man game moments. The freaking app that Ned creates is from the Spider-Man game. The little freaking it's straight out the damn game, which I thought was a nice sort of touch.
And some of the fight bits were from the game too. When before he meets the hand, that felt very Sable-esque.
Yes, but from the first game rather than the second game, which is even better. I like the movie. It makes me laugh that none of it's in New York. It's Glasgow or London. There was the shell building he went into that they extended up for damage control. That building he goes into is the shell building next to the Millennium Eye. I recognised it immediately, and it was like, hang on, they've extended that building up. It's like I was like to my wife, "You've been there, you just don't know it."
Yeah, it was a bit weird that it looked those Glasgow bits. Whenever they did like grimy streets, it's like, that looks familiar.
But when, I still laughed at the because I mean the fact that I'm on the same wavelength as Spider-Man, I take as a badge of honor. But it's when he went, because that wasn't in the trailer. When you see the hand come in like that and they all jump in there, and I went, "Oh, that's cool." I said that out loud. I was like, "That is cool." And the way they shot it, they changed it from the trailer, and then Spider-Man goes, "That's cool." I'm like, my wife's laughing. So she's looking at me and then looking at the film, just going, "You're such a nerd." So yeah, I liked the bit where he comes in with Ned. He's sitting there playing Legos. I fucking liked that. I liked the little nerdy references and good reference, dude. And the voices and everything because I liked the lines. I thought that was nice. Look, I'm glad you enjoyed it because I really enjoyed it, and it felt like Spider-Man, and it felt like it was a good film. I came out like I want to see more. I enjoyed it. We both did. We both enjoyed it. We laughed out loud at moments. I found other moments emotional. I liked how they used Aunt May to sort of. I thought Melissa Tomei's sort of bit in there and the way they used that with Jean Grey was clever, and it worked. I like how he handled Jean Grey. I don't think she did kill anybody. I mean, what she did, but when you see what was done to her,
traffic, that was it.
Yeah,
and that was it. As I said, I don't think there were any other bodies apart from that. Everyone else all just woke up going, "What happened?" They're all literally a string of what happened. And it's weird because I've watched I've watched like kind of other people review it and they've gone like kind of, "Oh no, she's done X, Y, and Z," and I'm just like, right, how many dead bodies did you see? Because I saw zero blood with the exception of him when he got beaten up or shot. Yeah. and I only saw one person get hit by a car, which may not have died, but that's the only one bit that I saw that could constitute someone getting killed. Yeah. And they're like, kind of, oh no, she got away with doing all these other things. Yeah, she did. Yeah, but that's what she can do, and that's why she did it. Yeah.
Jean Grey, before she came to Xavier's mansion, I think killed people, didn't she?
No, I don't think she did. She's one of the
I
cleaner
thought she was
ones.
dangerous.
She was dangerous because her parents. I'm trying to remember the X-Men thing. I can't remember the X-Men. I remember reading small Spider-Man comics and Iron Man comics as a kid.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Fing Fang Foom. One fucking thing. I'm glad they never put that in bloody in any of the films is Fing Fang Foom. A guy called Nicholas something subscribed to us. I just want to say thank you for subscribing to us on to Twitch. So yeah. What else have I got to say about it? It's one. It was great that it was Spider-Man. The whole sacrificing thing. I'm assuming he's got his money is whatever proceeds or things happened from the sale of Aunt May's ship. Yeah, because everyone's like, where did he get the money from? He should have a job, blah, 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 and life insurance.
They didn't focus on that, and they didn't need to. I mean, you know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man focused on that, and it worked for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. But I think if they'd done that again, it just would have been a copy of Sam Raimi's. I mean, he was living in a shitty flat.
Yeah, but remember the beginning of Spider-Man the game? Because they did it brilliantly at the beginning of Spider-Man the game. Where he's like looking at his fucking overdue bills and he's like, I was like, fuck, I've got to pay this. And then all of a sudden the radio clicks on, Kingpin's up to something. He's like, fuck this, I'm off, bye. Out the window. Yeah.
I don't think we missed that. I mean, it's funny you should say that because the thought crossed my mind, right? Just before we came on here, I was like, because you said I've got stuff to say, and I was thinking, I wonder what he's going to say. Is he going to pick up on this thing? And I'm like, well, no, they didn't show it. They kind of did, but they didn't. But did they need to? You know,
yes. Yes, it is part of Peter Parker's makeup that he struggles with normal things like paying bills. Yes.
But Peter Parker did build his suit, did build the web thing, so he obviously has kit. But the story was more about him dealing with being on his own, alone, and the sacrifice. And I'm not sure we needed the money. I think I know the reason why they didn't include it at the moment, with the certain way things are at the moment in the world. And I bet that conversation was had in the writers' room. I don't think we missed out on it. We know it's there. We know as long-term Spider-Man fans and fans of the thing. But if you're new to Spider-Man, would it have distracted from what they were trying to tell potentially? I know what you mean, because you and me are, you know, our collective knowledge of Spider-Man is immense because we're huge nerds and we love him.
Yeah. But it is one of those things, and Stan Lee brings it up, and it's like kind of getting things. No Jonah Jameson, as I said earlier.
Yeah, I was gutted by that because I loved him in Spider-Man 3. I love the fact they brought J.K. Simmons back because he is fucking the living embodiment of J.K. Jonathan. I think you could have had him there, and that would have worked. You can still do both of those things in the next one. It largely depends on what the status with the friends. I'd like to see Frank back again. I loved Frank's inclusion in this. I don't know what
we got proper Hulk, who we haven't seen since Infinity War.
Yeah,
was good.
Yes,
and I love the way it was like kind of da 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 da, and then it was like kind of she lost control, and it was like, oh dear, and then he goes big, and he's like, oh, and then it did have me worry when he knocked all of that fucking rubble out, and then you saw that Spider-Man had attached all the rubble to him, so it gave time for people to move. And I said, dumb, I can't roll that out. That bit there with Hulk was quite good, especially when Punisher turns up and he went, "Can't you do shit against this?" and he's like pulling him away to get him out of harm's way, and he's still shooting him in the face. That was good. Milchick, who played the guy in charge of damage control, proper bastard. I quite like that.
Yeah.
He was lawful evil, I think
I
they describe him as.
think he might be the protagonist in the X-Men because he gets away, and I think he's going to have, because I mean it's not fucking I'm probably not lost on you. It certainly wasn't lost on me that basically Spider-Man developed the X inhibitor. Yes.
Well, Trask did in the comics, didn't they?
Well,
Trask,
yes. But I wonder, because you blink and you miss it. Bruce is like, "What? This is a generic one," and he looks a bit worried about that. And so I think the next Spider-Man movie will probably still be in the sort of have X-Men involved in it. But then Spider-Man did have quite a lot of crossover with the X-Men. There was quite a few X-Men in Spider-Man.
And Daredevil.
Yeah.
And Kingpin.
Yeah.
It was annoying. I would have... Yeah, I think it'd been ground level. Yeah, and it's something that Marvel need to just stop with, where every one of their things is the end of the world or the end of the universe. If it's the end of the universe every fucking film, it's not exciting. Yeah, you need to give a shit about the characters first. Concentrate on that, and then whether they live or die, doing something right or wrong is the important bit.
They're going to do a reset. We know that. Whatever you do in that reset, you've got to bring back some characters that people know and are familiar with universally, and you've got to cast them well, and you've got to do films again that people love Spider-Man. So it didn't matter if Spider-Man was facing a bunch of aliens or a ground level threat, as long as you do it right. And they did it right, and it worked. And yeah, you had other characters in there from the comic books. Some people have said it was a bit too heavy on the characters. I don't think it was.
I think the only one that I didn't need to be in there was Yelena.
That's because you don't like her. I don't mind her as much as you do. I thought the scene was pretty harmless.
If you took them out, what would that show?
No, not a lot. But you could say the other way around. So, I mean, I don't dislike her as much as some of the other ones. She is the Avengers, and Spider-Man is still connected to the Avengers. He was an Avenger. So him having connections to the Avengers, even if we don't like their choice of current Avengers, does kind of make sense. The fact that it wasn't the Avengers in it, and the fact that she was going small potatoes, and it kind of is to the Avengers, and it stayed that way. It worked. He was the most Spider-Man he's been, and again that worked. And he was a nerd as well, which I liked. I liked him playing with Legos. I liked the geek references. I like the sacrifice. I like the sadness at the beginning. Okay, yes, I agree with you that we could have done with a bit more money, and where did he get his money from to build his AI? But then we knew he was good at that right from the offset. Because...
now hang on, hold on a second. The AI and that stuff was stolen from Happy's apartment.
Yes.
He couldn't have made that or afforded that. He stole that from Happy's apartment.
Probably.
Yeah, because that's what he was using in the previous film. So no one's going to know it was him because they've all forgotten about him.
But he was in a shitty flat. Would I like to have seen the inclusion of Miles? I don't know. I was hoping that copper was going to be called Morales, and you were just going to get a hint of that, because then I would have gone, yep, that's good. Okay. Tragic because she's going to die. Okay, they've gender swapped the mum with the thingy, but it's not egregious there. Unless you're a huge Miles Morales fan, then it might be. Although they haven't done that yet in the Across the Spider-Verse, so most people probably don't know that Miles' dad dies. They did do it in the game. But I liked it. I liked it. I liked the fact the police were in it. I thought the hand were cool, and I liked the fact he thought they were cool. I thought Sadie Sink was really good in it. I think you're right that her jumping at the beginning, but they certainly made up for that at the end. I do think Ned remembered him. I'm not sure about MJ, but I think it's for telling that she was sitting on top of the school roof. But we are meant to be having another trilogy. There is meant to be a handover at the end of this trilogy. I think they are going to introduce Miles. I'd like them to, because I like Miles Morales as a character. I know he shouldn't be called Spider-Man. I agree with you. He actually should have earned his own superhero name, because he's earned that. But I like the character. I liked the character in the game. I liked the character in the animation movies. I'd like to see a live action version of it. And the suit's cool as well. Yeah, I liked it, and I'm glad you did as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I did. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of apprehensive. Is he gonna get into me for liking it? But I really enjoyed it. I was really happy yesterday. It was a good movie, and I was glad that it was full.
It was funny because we were in the cinema, and I was with Tanith, Dexter, and Carl, and Tanith and Carl were like, kind of, if I fall asleep, wake me up. Didn't fall asleep, not one moment. 2 hours passed, and he didn't notice it. It's just a sign of a good movie.
It was a good movie. It deserves to be a high grossing movie, and I hope it does go on to $1 billion. And I hope a brave enough journalist out there goes, see, there's no such thing as superhero movie fatigue. It's shit movie fatigue. Yeah. Marvel, sort it out. And you're right. I am actually looking forward to the next Marvel Spider-Man movie, and I didn't think I'd ever say that again. And this is my point. You do something cool, we forget about the past. Picard season 3 proved this, and whilst we feel really apathetic about Star Wars, I'm pretty damn sure they do a fucking cool Star Wars movie. We'll love it again.
They did Andor.
Yeah, and for a while I liked Star Wars again because Andor was fucking good. I want them to do good Star Trek again. That ain't happening anytime soon. But at least they didn't fuck up Spider-Man. That's all I can say. Yeah. At least they didn't fuck up Spider-Man, and it worked for me. It was a good movie. I really don't know where I rank it, and I think I've got to watch it a couple more times, because Spider-Man 3 I still bang on about, because it literally fixed every criticism I had over the previous movies, especially with the Goblin. And I mean, since you freaking know me, I've been critical about that Goblin in that first movie. And I think it was the first thing I ever fucking said to you when we went into work after watching the first one of the Sam Raimi movies. Why did it look like a fucking Power Rangers moments? And why the fuck did they cover up that face? And Spider-Man 3 fixes that, and I will still love Spider-Man 3 for all three of those Spider-Men being on, and it works. But this felt like the more of Spider-Man in many ways.
Yeah,
and
proper Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was proper Spider-Man.
The suit was better. The suit was more grounded. There wasn't it was more him. I liked the bit when I know you saw it in the trailer, but again, I liked it on the screen where he's like, I'm not in high school anymore. And then he, kicks their asses. And some of those fight moves that he pulls were really good. I like the fact that he sacrifices to save Jean Grey. And why did he do that? Because Spider-Man does that.
That's what Spider-Man.
That is the essence of Spider-Man. Spider-Man tries not to kill. Even his worst enemy, he tries not to kill. That's what makes that scene in Spider-Man 3 so freaking poignant, because of the Goblin. I like the fact that he saved Jean Grey. I thought that was what Spider-Man should do. He's being Spider-Man. And if you know anything about Spider-Man, That's what he does.
And
and I love the bit with Frank.
And the fact that Punisher took a shot at him, proves that he was being the Punisher too, because that's what the Punisher would do.
Yes.
And those kind of two ideals kind of go against each other in places, which, yeah.
And they do in the movie. There is conflict between them, but there's also some kind of respect. And when he sees him, and he's, and the fact that he comes around to Jean Grey, at the end, and the bit where Frank is emotional, it worked for me. I was laughing, and I was also almost tearing up as well because I found it really funny and quite emotional.
Where he was like, the best bit, actually, I think the best bit of the movie is where he's standing at the window pretending to be Spider-Man, so Peter Parker can be in the crowd and see how much people appreciate him.
I liked that,
even though
as
he's
well.
sitting there hooping, wallowing like a fucking ape.
And I like. Because it cuts to behind Frank at the window, and you just hear him go and be really dorky, and I liked that as well. I loved the Punisher being in this. I thought it was great. No, I liked the movie, and I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad that we can sit here and be really positive about film and about a character that both you and I love so much.
And we can argue over fucking nerdy things rather than that. Like the fact that we were expecting Jean Grey to wind up at the X-Men mansion, which she didn't. The fact that her powers weren't quite like they were in the X-Men comics or cartoons that we watched when we were growing up. We can talk about that rather than, oh my god, they fucked the entire, like the Odyssey, like they missed out the most important part of it, the gods. Yeah. So it just looked like they were shit navigators, rather than other stuff. But this is why we like this. It's easy to say where you don't like something, and it's harder to say why you do like something, and it comes to the same when it comes to criticizing movies. People can criticize movies, and I've listened to some of the criticisms and this, that, and the other. Some of it I think is fucking unfounded. Some of it is kind of relevant, but I think they missed the wider point, which is quite annoying. Like the point is, why have they got the woman cop in there? Yeah, it's showing us that Peter Parker it's like his job for all intents and purposes, and he works with these people, and they know who he is. They don't know who he is. And he doesn't really get to know who he should be, asking who they are, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. And you have your work colleague is turned around and said to you at one point, "Go home, you're ill." Yeah, you've had that. Everyone's had that at one point. It's like you're clearly not right. Go home, get some rest. Yeah, and I had that there, and it was to show other people on how they viewed him. So you had Ned and MJ. They couldn't remember who he was. Punisher, who thinks he's being too fucking soft on everyone. Yeah, and he's not thinking about the longer term, where you should be taking them out so they're not coming back fucking tomorrow, sort of thing. The Hulk, where it's like kind of, you think you've got a monster inside you, I've got a fucking monster inside me, sort of thing. And then you've got like kind of Sadie Sink's character and all these things that kind of like show you who he is, through their kind of actions rather than telling you, because that's something we always moaned about when we watch it. They always say that this person's amazing, but you never get to see that they're amazing. Someone that's like kind of, he says that he's got relationships with the police, but we never see that he's got relationships with the police. People have forgotten him, but they haven't gotten him, but they still knows what they're into, and they will still like, and he knows that because they got on previously, they'll get on this time around. And everyone knows Ned Leeds becomes a hobgoblin. Who can you remember who the original there's three hobgoblins, the third one is Ned Leeds. One of them is a fashion designer. Can you remember which one's a fashion designer? Because that's the one I had revealed to me when I was a kid, because it was in there. It's like, we're finally going to find the identity of the hobgoblin. I cannot remember who it fucking is. Doing my night, and I'm trying to fucking remember without Googling it. I'm going to have to fucking Google it at one point.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, because that was a big thing when I was a kid. Who is the hobgoblin? Yeah, because he's not fucking Norman Osborn. Yeah, because he's completely different from Norman Osborn.
But the Ned that we've got here is slightly different.
He's Genki.
and I'm not sure he will work as the Hobgoblin, although he did have that line in Spider-Man 3. I have magical powers, but I won't turn into a supervillain and try to kill you. I don't know. But look, I am glad that we can nerd out about this. I'm glad that we can be passionate and love the movie, or love the fact that it's a Spider-Man movie. And I actually think in many ways it's the first time I've seen a complete Spider-Man on film, that they've got both the Peter Parker and the Spider-Man kind of right. And I think Tom Holland's grown into the role. I mean, I've seen the BBC going, "Oh, Spider-Man's stuck and he needs to grow up." No. He has grown up. You don't understand. And you're right. There's a lot. There's people determined not to like this, right? And I don't get it. Probably because it's been such a successful movie. Probably because it is a movie. And probably because it isn't politically messaging and it's just trying to tell a good story, and these people can't take it.
I'll be honest with you. The only one criticism I probably heard, which might be a case, is there's probably about 20 minutes of the film that could be cut out to make it leaner and meaner, and that's fine. That's a first perfectly valid criticism. You know, if this was a shorter, sharper film, it would be better. I'm gonna go and watch it again though.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to watch it again. Just got to figure out when.
Me too. But I think, because we are on such a positive thing, I think put the bow here, because we loved it. We can finish it on a positive note, G.
We can, until Marvel screws something up in the future.
Well, wait until Christmas.
Oh my God, we've been betrayed by the guy called Victor Von Doom!
Oh, shock, horror.
Mr. Van Bad Guy!
Mr. Van Bad Guy.
Oh no, Mr. Van Bad Guy turns out not to be a good guy. Oh no,
he comes
what
on
will you
to
do?
We have this of making your dog.
Hair former Nazi. I didn't know he was a bad guy. Where was the clue? Former Nazi.
Brilliant.
On that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. Have a good one. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Bye.